How we doing?
What is up? We just had some good training today, some beautiful weather. Now it's time to podcast.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's right. Let's go.
Yo, try and pull. I'm gonna say try and move the mic around a little bit and just keep it close to your faces as possible, like, cause you can't hear it when you move that much. So
Okay.
it's all good. But yeah, we had some sick rolls today. Had a good workout. Had a good lunch. Just watched a couple fights right now.
Yeah.
Tristan just got his purple belt this week, so shout out to Tristan.
Just got my purple belt Wednesday. Gracie Baja, Burnaby. Let's go.
How did it feel, man? What do you think? What do you think was like the biggest step from blue to purple belt? As like a white belt, that's just kind of what I'm wondering.
Yeah, for me in particular, it was just like the competition experience, just getting as much competition experience at blue belt and transitioning to purple belt. In all honesty, as you progress through jiu-jitsu, you realize that belts don't matter a whole lot. Although they are amazing achievements and milestones, it's just like your consistency and your skill. Like I beat guys higher ranked than me. I've been beaten by guys lower ranked than me. Belts are just like you've been there that long. You've been doing it. You've been consistent. Here is your reward. And it is an amazing reward and it feels great. But it's like belts don't determine the skill level of a fighter. Yeah, I am grateful though, for sure.
Yeah, man, that's so wicked. It's like it probably feels so like such an accomplishment. It's like such a confidence boost. It's like, hell yeah, dude. Like my struggles, my grind has been recognized.
Mm-hmm. Like I remember just being a white belt, just like, oh, I can't wait till I get my blue belt. I'm gonna wear it all the time. Like now, people see me on the street, they know, oh, it's not just a white belt. There's a color to it. But yeah, man, it feels great to get that belt promotion.
That's wicked, man. So you've come up there, but then you got slammed down on social media, man. What happened there since the last time we chatted?
Yeah, so so this Instagram account I've had it since like 2011. Has so many core memories on there, so many good sentimental things on there, and just for my stories in particular, speaking an alternative narrative to like whatever the mainstream is pushing, just alternative viewpoints. Not trying to be confrontational, just like alternative viewpoints, and they completely banned my account. So I've had to make a new account. Follow me at Thane Jutsu, and yeah, so it's kind of crazy, but I don't know. I'm not surprised. Like I don't expect anything less.
Did you get like warnings? Like, did they tell you like, yo, your account's gonna be banned soon?
Yeah, I've had many warnings throughout the years, but it's like I'm not even doing anything. Like, what am I doing? Just posting stories. Like, leave me alone, bro. I'm not like telling people, I'm not posting inappropriate images. I'm not trying to be violent. I'm literally just posting what I feel, what my opinion is, opinions of professionals with opinions that are opposed to the mainstream narrative. And just due to that, like, they pulled my account.
That's so nuts, man. It's so funny because I know so many people that have been like banned off Instagram. And like, dude, even my girlfriend Teddy, like for a long time, like she couldn't be tagged in anything. She couldn't be like mentioned. She couldn't be nothing. Like she was like
a year before I was banned, I was like shadow banned. Like people would tell me they would search up my account and they wouldn't be able to find it. They say that like they wouldn't see my story views. They wouldn't see my likes, like all these sorts of things. And I'd show them like, hey, no, I liked your post. Like I've been shadow banned far before they actually legitimately banned me.
It's so crazy because I'm like, dude, I say all the same shit, and I've been like,
just a matter of time,
dude. I've got a couple of warnings, and there was like a one time where someone did like the collaborate thing, where like you collab on the post or whatever, and it looks like it's posted from both of you.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, you're really shadow banned, right? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like people can mention me, like I'm still like okay. And I even checked. I was like, yo, someone like I asked my buddy, I'm like, unfollow me and like see if you can like search me up and shit. And I have a second account, so I did the same thing, and I can still see myself. But apparently, like he was like, when he looked at his insights, it said that the only people that had viewed it were his followers. Like nobody that wasn't following him saw the post. And it said like something about how the person that posted that, because I was the collaborator, was like going against community guidelines. And it was like literally it was a clip of us working out.
Yeah.
Like it had nothing to do with any. Like we were literally just fucking training.
That's so crazy. Do you think? What do you
Pull
guys
that closer.
think?
Pull it closer.
Pull it closer.
Yeah, you
What-
can angle it to your face, and that's perfect.
right,
You guys can just keep changing the angle.
Okay, gang. I was just gonna ask, do you think that this is like an automated process? Like, do you think that this is just like a sort of AI just going through and like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like that, yeah. And then
Yeah.
do you think there's a human aspect that comes in at some point and is like,
The human
all right, this
aspect is
guy-
like the whoever programmed it.
right? But do you think that there's a singular person when it gets to a certain point, they're like, oh, okay, this guy's been flagged, who comes in and they make a decision where they're like, we're gonna shadow ban this guy. We're gonna like, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z to like to censor this person. That's what I wonder. Or it's just maybe it's just a fully automated process where it's just, you get flagged and then you get flagged again and then they just take you off. They just stop promoting your stuff. I wonder what, where the human aspect comes in, or if it comes in, at any point.
My best guess, and like I'm not the smartest guy in the fucking world, man, but Tristan and I became doctors last episode, but
Oh wow.
my best guess would be that the ban hammer is not swung by like a human. I think it was probably designed by a human, but it's just like AI, and you just get whatever it is. Like if you get a certain level of like number of reports on your posts, or
Yeah.
and then it's just like, yo, this guy's got to go.
This guy's got to go.
Yo, I'm pretty sure, like based on what I've researched, trying to get my account back, that it's like an automated. There's so many infractions. Like there's millions and millions of Instagram, Facebook users. Like it's an automated process to like understand that okay, this person's violated community guidelines, and that's all automated. But from my understanding, I'm pretty sure that it's a human. If you are to repeal the ban, then it'll be viewed by another human. But all of like the banning initially and all that stuff is done automated.
Right. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just an interesting thought, like how they go about these things, how they decide, who to ban, who they're gonna censor today. It's just it's not right.
Well, and the thing is like, it would be fine if the goalpost didn't keep moving.
Exactly.
Like-
Yeah.
Because like you're seeing people like, and there's some things that are like, it's kind of like black and white. Like, yeah, you shouldn't say shit like that, right? Like there are certain things where it's like, yeah, you, and I don't know if that should be punishable, but you just shouldn't say those things. And I think that the community kind of punishes people as is. Like I don't think that, but that's just kind of my theory.
Yo, and like the thing is like the thing that differentiates conspiracy theory from fact these days is just time. Things that you used to talk about months ago or years, like a year ago, would immediately get you banned, and now in the mainstream media it's considered as fact. So you could have been talking about that stuff back in the day and just get banned immediately, but now you talk about it, it's completely fine. So it's like, what exactly, like it's just time that differentiates what you're able to talk about.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, yeah, it's just time, and it's like when, because like, yeah, and there's so many examples. Like there's like that lab leak theory thing where like people were getting fucking banned, like doctors were getting banned, and then it came out, it's like, oh yeah, that's probably what happened. And it's like, well, do we go back and say like, hey, we were just joking when we banned these people, like we shouldn't have done that? There's no like going back and like correcting it at all. Like it's just, and that's the thing that frustrates me a lot is like now we're seeing like, right now we're midway through March 2022. I think it's important to note, but here in Vancouver, like everything's just getting lifted, sort of like mask mandates, vaccine passes, everything like that. And yeah, for now, of course. But it's kind of like nobody's really thinking like, okay, so can we look back and see like the results? Like, can we say like, can we get like a number of like how effective certain things were? Can we have some accountability and like maybe so we know what to do next time? Because maybe there's certain things that were effective last time, and I'm not gonna really go into it right now. But like, it's like there's obviously certain things that were effective. There was obviously certain things that were ineffective. Like, can we have that discussion? Can we, like, maybe we don't need to hold people accountable, like, fuck, whatever that looks like, but it's like...
But if we were able to have that discussion, we wouldn't have had more than one lockdown, because it's clear as day that those aren't effective and only produce negative outcomes.
Yo, hold up. Say that one more time.
if that's the case, if they were, yep,
I fucked the audio.
it's all good.
up
It's
a
all
bit.
good.
That...
Yo,
Keep talking. Keep
hello,
talking.
hello, hello,
That's
hello.
money. That's money.
Yeah. So if
Just back
if
up a
that
little
was
bit. Now we're too
if
tight.
that was the case and they were having those conversations, then we wouldn't have had more than one lockdown, because it's as clear as day that they only produce negative outcomes. There's no positive outcomes that come from lockdowns. So if they were having those conversations, clearly they're not. Like, what makes us think that they're going to have those conversations now, going forward to a next one, when there's been time in between the lockdowns to consider that data, to consider those outcomes, and clearly none of it was done. Agenda driven.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's like, man, like, what? And how are we gonna handle this in the future? Like, is there like a... Oh, there we go. We're good. We're good. We're good. Sorry, I'm like trying to get this all like perfect so that it's like working well for both of us. But yeah, it's like, what are we gonna do in the future? Like, what the fuck? Because this is obviously gonna keep happening. Like, there's gonna be different times where, you know, maybe it's an illness, maybe it's like a different type of crisis. But it's like, do we really want to have these types of lives again? Like, is this really... That's kind of what I've been thinking, is like, what's going to happen next? Like, what's going to be the next thing that we all have to kind of... And I got my own theories, and like, it's just, man, like, I've never seen shit like this before, man. And I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen next?
I'm interested in hearing some of these theories, man. You've got great theories.
I mean, I just
Go
think,
Go in.
it's tough because, I keep thinking about, you know, what's going to happen. Like, what's another way? Because I just feel like at the end of the day, I've been thinking about, like, what's the end goal? Like, what's actually the end goal? It's not to get rich. Like, whoever's like doing...
Social credit system.
No, I get that, man. But it's like, why? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the end goal?
It's to be able to have the population so and so controllable that they've been propagandized to the point where whatever they believe, whatever the government or the party tells them, that they're able to just believe and go on with it. That they're easily able to be like someone taking care of sheep, right? Like a shepherd taking care of sheep, that whatever your action or whatever your motive is, and you relay it to this group of people, that they will just be docile enough to accept it and to just follow through without banding together, because together they are strong, united they are strong, and opposing the viewpoint that you have, but just being so low T, low fucking all this shit, all these things, that they will just accept whatever they are told. And yes, master, yes, sir, I will listen. Thank you for giving us a little bit of freedom. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, the other thing is like, I think that everyone's, just because how difficult things have gotten recently, like, people are kind of like, oh, I just need to focus on my own grind. I don't want to pay attention to this kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to pay attention to the news. It seems so depressing. Like, I don't want to pay attention to all this. I just need to like work and make my money and do my own thing. And like, I don't want to focus on this stuff. And then I think to myself, it's like that, but that's why it's going to happen.
That's the mindset that allows it to continue.
Exactly, yeah.
Because the things that are going on are so wrong. And if you take the time to actually look into it, not just now, but over the last few years and beyond that, the only way to change it is to recognize it, acknowledge it, create the public conscious, the class conscious, that we realize that these things are wrong, and to make stands against it. The fact that people think like, oh, like, yeah, this is fucked up, I'm just going to allow it to happen, like, I'm just going to focus on myself. Like, that's just what allows them to continue doing what they do, because they know that they can. And the only way to stop it or to make real changes is to come together and create a public understanding as to what we want and what we don't want, and to make moves upon that.
Hell yeah. No, I completely agree with that. Hold on. But yeah, we're back on. Sorry, I had to play around with the audio, but we're back. But yeah, I just think like, if like, and this is what I've been trying to ask a lot of people, and I don't know what you guys think. I just kind of wanted to ask you guys as well. Like, what do you think is like kind of the best way forward right now? Like, for us to be behaving, like, because obviously,
like, as individuals, or
like, I think like, so like, think of it like, I know that no matter what, I am gonna pretty much stick it out as long as humanly possible to just live within my own values and be as consistent as I possibly can with that. Because I feel like no matter what happens, if more mandates come in for the same reason or other reasons, or anything happens, like any event happens that maybe my quality of life is compromised, my daily behaviors are compromised, whatever it could be, like I'm just gonna try and stick to my values as long as I possibly can. And I think that that's like kind of my mindset moving forward from here on out. And it's like I know a lot of people that they were kind of, maybe they played along with like certain rules or restrictions because they had like kind of a gut feeling. They were like, I don't really know if I should be doing this.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, there's a bit of social pressure. There's a little bit of pressure from work. There's going to, like, you see all this stuff in the media. A lot of it's kind of scary.
More than a little pressure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A lot.
I'm just saying, like, you definitely, like, but then you don't act within your values.
Yeah.
And then there's this weird gut feel, like, and I've been thinking recently, like, I wish I personally and a lot of other people like listened to their gut when that first feeling hit, where it was like, yo, something's going on, but we just have to wait this out. Like, I was like, fuck, I wish I listened to my gut because I knew something was up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, moving forward, like, that's the biggest lesson I took out of this is like, I need to fucking trust my fucking instincts and live within my own values and don't compromise that.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, what do you guys think? Like, what's like moving forward? Like, what's the best thing to do? Like,
well, I think personally, I think people just, and I think it's happening, is people just need to kind of stand up and like, and listen to their gut and say, like, a lot of people know what's happening. I feel like is wrong. Like,
get a bit closer.
Most people know that what's
Nice.
going on is not right, and those people. I mean, I feel like you just need to kind of stand up a bit more. And I'm a prime person like that. I was pressured into joining into all this. I was pressured from so many different angles, and eventually I gave in. But like you said, people, they're just going to keep like Tristan said, they're going to keep pushing things farther and farther, and they just want to, they want you dormant. They want you just like, yes, sir, no, sir, just do what you're told. And so the only solution to that, I feel like, is to stand up and stand for what you believe in, and just say, no, this isn't right. And you just need to push that dialogue. And
like, when you say like stand up, like, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like? Like, on, like, cause like, I feel like everyone can rally behind things like, yeah, we need to stand up, we need to act, like, and even I say, like, we need to act within our values. But like, for the average person, like, when you wake up and you're like, okay, today I'm going to stand up for myself, like, what does that even mean?
Well, I don't know, maybe even just doing like what you do, promoting the message of what you believe in, promoting that side, or maybe just not following along with this crazy rhetoric, this wearing masks everywhere, and just the rhetoric that's going around. You just need to kind of go against the grain a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. And I feel as well, like, we just all, and this is kind of something that everyone can kind of rally behind, I think, like, on both sides. Like, it's like, we need to feed into the division a lot less. Like, I think truly that is kind of what has to happen. Like, it's, and I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like, I recently finished this audiobook, like, Atlas Shrugged, and it really changed my perspective a lot in terms of just kind of the way that we complain about the game but still play within the rules of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at least for myself, like, my whole life, like, I've always just been against people telling me what to do and authority and stuff, and it's worked both to my benefit and my detriment. But I've always followed my gut and stood up for what I believed in, even at the start of the pandemic all the way through now. Like, I've always said what I've felt, said what I believed in. I've lost so many, like, friends, like, quote unquote friends, who don't fuck with me anymore. who I thought were friends. So a lot of family members who have blocked me and stuff because I was always, and that's back then. Now the things that I was talking about, like it's just fact now, and now they believe it, but they still ruined that relationship with me. And I've never backed down from my gut feeling or what I believed in. And as for doing what you can, like just even as simple as like reposting something or posting a story on something that you believe in truly, that could be something that could be ostracizing to you, that could make your friends feel like, yo, what the heck? Are you like some sort of extremist for believing that? Like, that's not what they say on the TV. Like, why are you saying that? You have you're a fucking white supremacist or something, bro. You're a Nazi. But the thing is also going forward.
Do you get people call you that? Like a white supremacist?
I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm not an easy target, like both physically and mentally. Like, people don't like to start arguments with me. And it's not even an argument, bro. Like, I totally respect people who are willing to have a conversation, and they could be on the other end of the spectrum. But as long as we can be respectful and talk, but so many people get so emotionally triggered by these concepts and these things because they've been indoctrinated to believe a certain way. And if you speak out against that, they get so emotional because they're so emotionally invested in that narrative. They're like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, you don't believe that? You're freaking, oh, you watch YouTube videos? Like, dude, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, it's infuriating. It's infuriating. But going forward, like you're asking, like, how do we go forward? The thing is, one of humanity's greatest assets is adaptability. No matter what happens, humans are able to adapt to new circumstances, new environments, new like situational factors. And no matter what happens, humans will adapt. Although, like, we can't just allow ourselves to become to that point where we're so docile that we just accept whatever we're told and just follow orders just because the government, these people, so many of them we don't even elect, and they just try and control our lives. These technocrats, these people in Congress and Senate and all these things, like, dude, like, you can't just, if you disagree with something, you should be able to voice it, and we should be able to have a common debate about it, come to the truth together. But it's like, we've been so radicalized to just like turn the person with a different viewpoint into an other, which allows you to be cruel to them and view them as lower than you, which makes you be able to just be whatever you want to them. Like, they're not the same as you. These people are extremists. These people are Nazis. Like, no, bro, that's not what you do. The only way to come to the truth is have the two opposing viewpoints and somewhere in the middle find the truth. But you have to be able to be emotionally intelligent enough to have those conversations. And that's the only way forward.
You have to be able to have those. People aren't willing to have the conversation, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to have a dialogue anymore. It's just about, I don't agree with you, so just stay away from me.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not going to solve anything. It's just going to create a bigger divide. And, you're not going to get to a solution that way. So
it's like, but what do you do though? Like, if they have unacceptable views, how are you going to talk to them?
Yeah, what I've kind of learned at this point through everything, it's almost like a willful ignorance. Like, they don't want to be wrong because it's clear at this point for so many narratives, like, that was bullshit. And now that they've been so invested in it, they don't want to be wrong. So it's like a willful ignorance. And I've just learned, just be like respectful of their opinion. You're not going to change their mind. You're definitely not going to change their mind. As long as you can kind of maintain a friendship, be respectful of the fact, like, we are not going to come together on this issue, but I can still respect you as a human being and as a friend. Like, as long as both parties can agree to that, like, it should be okay, because you can't change these people.
yeah, absolutely. And you know what else I think? I think changing somebody's mind is usually a slow process. It's not something you do in one conversation.
Facts.
It's something that happens over a period of time. You know, they see things, they're watching the media. Oh, I don't really agree with that. I don't really agree with that. They watch a YouTube channel, and maybe they see your podcast, and they can relate with some things. And so it's a slow process, man. And people change over time. And I think some more people are waking up these days. So it's good, but.
Yeah, the thing that really troubles me, man, is when I hear people say things like that when they want other people, that when they disagree with them, to get hurt, or when they want them to die and shit. Like, that's the part where I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, dude, when there was like this hysteria around like healthcare and unvaccinated people like a while back, like I think it was like last summer, and it was like there was like, what the fuck? And there's like people like There's like people saying don't let the unvaccinated come into the hospital systems and bog them down and it's like, man, are you seriously fucking talking about another fucking citizen of the same fucking if you want to even believe in like countries being like some sort of way to divide people in the first place, like you're going to let like you know what I'm saying? Like this is another human being and you're wishing ill on them.
The weakest people who don't have power in their own lives, they love any sort of power they can get over another person and they will cling to that. These people are weak in terms of integrity. Like they will allow any sort of power that they can hold over another person, they will cling on to that.
But like how do you get that integrity then? Like what creates somebody that has like kind
accountability?
Like when you're saying like someone's like weak, what are they lacking?
What are they lacking?
How could they get to be a strong person? Because what does that mean?
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's someone who's just like has I don't know. Maybe they aren't accepting of themselves. They feel shit about themselves. They feel what's the word? Insecure, and they project outwards onto the world and any sort of power that they can get over another person. Because someone who has integrity and someone who has self-respect and all these things, they don't like. Sure, you could be in a position of power over someone, but you're not going to abuse it. Like you're going to respect a person as another person. Like we're both humans. But someone who lacks that will easily, like if they have the opportunity to like control another person or have a position higher than them and like talk down to someone, they will do that. So I think integrity and accountability, like being accountable for yourself and realize, also empathy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Facts.
I know for myself, like when I struggle anywhere in my life, like I think back to like even working in like management positions and jobs that I've used to have where like I think I've failed as a leader.
Yeah.
Or even in like relationships, when I think about like dating, like I think about like when I've failed in relationships, like I always think about, and this is something I've had to be conscious of recently, just reminding myself like, hey, I want to improve at becoming a better partner. So like it's not about winning conversations, it's about like actually listening. And say
learning, growing.
Yeah, exactly. And say like, so like when I was in a management position as well, like there was so many times where I was like, yo, you have to do things my way. You have to do things my way because I've seen the results and it works. Mm-hmm. And I forget, like, it's like, well, not everyone's going to be able to run the same play. You know, maybe they're going to have different strengths and they shouldn't do things your way at all. They shouldn't even waste their time trying. Like they should be playing to their own strengths. Mm-hmm. And I think of like so many times I have to remind myself like, hey, this isn't about being like a better player. This is about being a better leader or being a better partner or being a better whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And that's helped kind of like shaped my mindset of just like, okay, I want to be better at this. Yeah. I'm not like the best at this. I'm not going to tell other people what to do. It's like, I'm going to ask them what they think. And then maybe they're idiots and I'm going to disregard it. But maybe I get something, like even if it's 1% more of an advantage, like I for me now, like it's just kind of from the mindset of like, hey, I want to get better at this. Yeah. I'm not the best.
Yeah, that's like the mindset of a martial artist is to always be a student no matter what position you're in. Like you could be a black belt and learn many things from a white belt. You could be a foreman and learn things from your apprentice. Like always be a student and you'll always grow.
Yeah. I was thinking about that even as well. Like I don't know if we talked about this last time, but I was thinking about like I think I've even made an episode about it where it's like if you're bored in life, become a student or a teacher, because either way you have to be either like learning or learning how to teach. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like even just on like the topic of martial arts, like jiu-jitsu, like it's like just becoming a student again in my life. Like it's kind of given me something to look forward to, and it gives me something to. It distracts me from the problems I'm already dealing with, but it gives me new problems to solve. And they're like kind of like non-lethal, like obviously like, but it's like, I'm not going to take a huge financial hit in my life. Yeah. It's like, it's a new problem to solve that doesn't really have that many repercussions because I can just tap out. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a consistent problem solving mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good to always, because if you don't have those sorts of obstacles in your way, you're just going to become complacent. You're going to get into a routine. You're going to be like, why am I just like every single day is the same? Why am I just doing this every single day? But putting those obstacles in front of you, whether you put it yourself or something else puts it in front of you, gives you something to work towards to better yourself as a human being in order to overcome those obstacles. And that's like excellent way to grow as a human being.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just like holding a job, you know. You get home from work every day and that job will give you you feel accomplished. You feel like you did something and you're doing something. So I feel like having something that you can constantly be growing from, like jujitsu or some sport or whatever it may be, something you're constantly learning. I feel like it's human nature to kind of want that. If, in a sense, I mean, I guess not everybody has that, but somebody who's in a healthy mind state and who wants to better themselves is constantly going to be seeking growth and wanting to learn and wanting to try new things so that they can better themselves and expand their knowledge, expand their tools, their abilities, their I'm blanking on the word here, but you know what I'm saying?
Their
like
skill set.
Their
like,
skill set. That's their skill set. They constantly want to grow that skill set. So
Yeah, no doubt. And the other thing too is like the development that you get there is because it's uncomfortable, because you're not able to take that on yet, and you willingly like kind of face the challenge. And that's kind of the beauty of the whole thing as well, because like a lot of the times, like even especially like myself starting jujitsu, I was like, I kind of want to get myself ready, like not even just physically, like it was more mentally, because like I had come off like a couple injuries already, and then I got injured like pretty much right when I started. So it was kind of like I need to get mentally like into this.
Yeah.
And I kept like kind of prolonging it, and I even took like 6 months off to like kind of recover fully. Yeah. And then I kind of realized, like, I'm like, fuck this. I'm not waiting. Like, the point is to be uncomfortable. So, hey, if I'm fucking hurting in certain areas, like if my fucking, right now, my toe is like all jacked up. Like, I popped my toe out a few weeks back.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like, I'm not going to wait for this to just heal. Like, so obviously certain things, like, dude, like with what your brother's dealing with, like, it's like, you got to recover that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But there's certain things where it's like a lot of the times we just kind of have to get our feet wet, man. Like just jump in. Even if it's the exact same argument that I would want to make in regards to competing.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm like, oh, I don't feel like I have enough experience yet, but it's like, bro, you get the experience from doing it.
Yeah.
From fucking doing it. So it's like, I feel like so many times we like, not even prolong it, but we just like hesitate. We just like, do you know what I mean?
For sure.
absolutely.
And the thing with competition especially is that the majority of people who train jiu-jitsu do not compete, or at least do not compete regularly. And whether you win or lose, the fact that you even put yourself out there to test yourself in such a scary situation is a huge victory. You're differentiating yourself from others. Like you're putting yourself out there to test yourself versus yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's you versus you. So even doing that in the first place is like a huge victory.
Yeah. What do you think is like your biggest takeaway from competing?
My biggest takeaway that's transferred to my whole life is that my mind is stronger than anything. Like my jiu-jitsu skill could be one thing, but my mind is so much of a greater advantage than my jiu-jitsu skill. And it's just like, I've learned that over the last few competitions, just feeling like absolute shit, feeling like I suck ass, like the day before the competition, like wanting to back out, being injured, all these things, and just like getting gold, double gold, triple gold the day after, feeling those feelings. And even on my last competition, I got triple gold, but in my second match, I kneed myself in the eyes so hard. Like I gave myself like a mini concussion, immediate black eye. Like I thought I was done for the day. And I ended up winning 5 more matches in a row. And it's just like, yo, no matter what, the mind is the strongest. As long as you are able to control your mind and believe that you can do it. Like the mind is stronger than the body always.
Yeah. And you played other sports growing up?
Yeah. I played 9 years of football and like 4 years of rugby.
Do you think that you gained, like,
I never gained that mental insight in any of those sports. It only came through competition in jiu-jitsu. And maybe it's because I was older, able to recognize it more, but also maybe because it's like a solo individual sport, individual competition versus like a team. You know, you only have you. It's you versus whoever. Like A team, at least if you fuck up, like you have your teammates, or if your teammate fucks up, they have you. In jiu-jitsu or any sort of single combat sport, it's all on you.
Right.
Yeah, because I think it might have to do with age as well, even as because like I played other sports growing up as well, and I didn't get nearly as much out of it. Like I definitely learned a lot of sick values, like how to work with others, how to etc. Right, like the obvious benefits of working or playing sports. But like I just think like when I started jiu-jitsu, I'm 26 years old.
Yeah.
And like for me, just the focus alone, like how much I focus. Like, dude, when I played rugby growing up, I wasn't fucking focused 100% of the time at training. Like I'm thinking about fucking
what's after this.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to show up for game time. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But now when I show up for training, like
you
for
have to be
jiu-jitsu,
so intentional.
I'm like ready to rock and roll. I'm paying attention the whole time. I'm listening to everything. Like I'm just so much more. So I feel like this has been like for me the biggest lesson so far is like literally you're going to get out of this what you put into it, because you can
100%.
show up every single day
and
like not listen to fucking drills and just kind of fucking fake your way through. Like professor looks away and you just fuck around like whatever. But you're never going to progress. You're never going to get better. You're just going to get fucking the floor mopped with you every single time. Like there's no way to kind of fake it. You have to fucking train to get better.
That's what's so awesome about sparring in martial arts is there's no faking it. You get exposed. You get exposed for how good you are or exposed for how shit you are. But if you're going against another human being who's trying to win, you're going to get exposed. You can't hide it.
Yeah. And it's even so like it's humbling, but it's also like one of the biggest confidence boosts as well. But I think like for myself, even I think the biggest thing about starting something like jiu-jitsu, you could even do the same argument could be made for literally any martial art. But it's like I learned about how little I know about combat.
Yeah.
Like the first couple of classes, I was like, all right. Like I remember when I walked into the first one, I was like, yo, I could clobber a couple of these guys. And then after rolling with them, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to talk shit again in public. Like, I don't think, because there's like so many people can be unsuspecting. And
just like on the street, you have no idea who could be a fucking killer.
Yeah.
You have
like,
no fucking idea.
Dude,
bro.
it's really taught me, like, because even like, and I don't know if this is like a young man thing, like I developed like in my mid 20s, like a lot of like older guys. I used to be like, yo, fuck this old guy. Like I could fucking. But now, dude, rolling
young
with
guys
like,
feel they think they're invincible, right?
bro.
Young
and
men.
then you roll with like a guy who's like in his 40s
Dude.
and he's like 15 years on the mat, 20 years on the
Sage.
mat, and dude, they're twice as strong, like you're like
twice as patient.
Old man strength.
you're
old
like,
man
dude, I thought your body would be on the decline by now,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, how are you so strong? It's so like heavy, like so. It's like, man, it's.
I totally agree with that, man. You never know somebody's capabilities. I remember when I went to one of my first few jiu-jitsu classes, and I rolled with one of the she's like a small woman, but and I thought, you know, like yeah, I'm sure she's very very talented, you know, very great, but I could totally like I'm a guy.
an animal.
I got like 50 pounds on this
I
girl.
see
Like
red,
there's
bro.
there's no way I'll still come out.
I would just
I'll
stand
still
up,
come
bro.
out on top, right?
I would just stand up.
But yo, she wound up like I had no chance, man. Like no chance. And I came out of it like pretty defeated. Like I was like, oh my god.
Don't worry,
Hey,
man.
Mom.
That's awesome.
That's so sick.
Yo, sorry boys. Before we continue, I gotta give one shout out.
All right,
Yo, shout out to the 2 pound for pound best grapplers in Alberta. Ian Robert North and Jericho Gracie out of Frontline Academy.
gang.
Let's go.
That's
Sorry.
so sick.
Had to give a shout out to my boys.
That's so sick, man. Shout out to the boys.
Shout out.
The one guy I shouted out, Ian. That's the one guy I've been chasing ever since I met him. Like he is incredible.
That was like what we were talking about, like the first adversary.
Levels.
The first adversary. The first person where you're like, yo, I'm gonna fuck that person up one day, man.
Yeah, that guy smashes me. I've submitted him like twice, and he smashes me. He's
Dude.
a beast.
I know what that feels like, man.
What color belt?
He's
is
a
he
blue
at?
belt,
He's
bro.
a blue belt.
He's a blue belt, but he's like world class. I remember right when he got his blue belt, he got first place in the IBJJF Vegas Open no gi all submission. Like this guy's a fucking savage.
Sub only?
No, it's
He just
IBJJF.
subbed
So
it.
he got all submissions though.
Yeah.
He's one of those genetic, like natural,
Dude.
like he was born to
He's
to
born
fight,
for this
you know,
shit.
he's born for it.
He was
you know?
born for this shit. Yeah, so that's the guy I'm chasing. One day I'll get you, Ian, you motherfucker.
That's so sick, man. Man, I'm so fucking excited too, just because,
Yo, your first competition's coming up, brother. How do you feel?
dude,
Let's go.
I love how you just out me like that.
Let's fucking go.
So Tristan's been talking. I actually, yeah, this will be out way before then, but yeah, Tristan's been talking me into competing. So I don't even know the details, but why don't you give me the details?
April 23rd, I believe it's in Langley. It's like Langley at Trinity Western University. So jiu-jitsu competition. It's going to be Mark's very first jiu-jitsu competition, but he's a 4th stripe white belt. Like, you have to get the competition experience before you go to blue belt. You don't want to go to be a fresh blue belt, get your first competition at blue belt. You got to get some competition experience at white belt, Mark.
Yeah.
You just
got this.
You locked him in. Now he
Yeah.
has to do it.
He has to.
He's locked
Okay, yo,
in.
you have to coach me then. You have to.
1000%. I
You
will
have
be
to
there. I'll
coach
coach you, and then you will watch me compete and coach me too.
Okay, real
Yes.
talk. Now that you've kind of toyed
I
around with
will
my
coach
body
you,
for a
bro.
bit,
Yeah.
where do you think my biggest, like, where do I need to work on first? Passing guard, do you think?
Well, the thing is, like, passing my guard is like a very tricky puzzle, even for like higher belts. So it's like that's not really like a good indicator. You're good, you're smart, you were calm. I would have to see more of your game. Like maybe I should have tried to pass your guard to see that other aspect of your game. But in terms of what I experienced in terms of passing, like you were doing very good. Yeah, I would have to experience more of your game to really say. But you are good, you are smart, you are athletic. You can do this.
Dang, dude, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's awesome.
And Andrew's coming back. Now that I've
Yep,
been outed,
Andrew's
I'm
coming
gonna
back.
out him. Man. Now I'm gonna out him. So
Yeah.
Andrew came for a little bit, and then life threw a curveball at him, and then but we're getting him back in the gym, dude. And then we're gonna try and do these rolling records on
let's go.
Saturdays more often because
Yeah.
it's so sick.
And I loved it, man. I loved jits when I started doing it. I mean, it really does give you a huge confidence boost. You know, I mean, that's one thing that I just sticks out in my mind is when I was doing it, I felt good about myself. I felt, you know, I felt like I was learning, I was growing, I was getting stronger. I was, you know, it just gives you just something special, man. I don't know what it is, but yeah, like Mark said, life threw me a bit of a curveball, and I had to. Well, I didn't have to, but I kind of dipped out for a bit. But yeah, now we'll get going again. I got two good buddies who are pushing me into it, and hell yeah, I'm pumped.
Let's go.
So sick, yo. It's so sick, man. Do you remember your first competition?
Yeah, I do, and it was kind of traumatizing. So my very first competition when I think I was like a 3-stripe white belt training at GB Vancouver, and my very first match, like this is before I played like guard, like I'm a guard player, like that's my main shit. But I was just like an aggressive, athletic guy, you know, like just a white belt, spazzy. I grabbed this guy, and I don't know what happened, but I kind of slammed him into the wall. His head went straight first. My very first competition match had a seizure. It was so traumatizing, bro. It was fucked. I ended up getting second place in that tournament, but that shit like scared me, bro. Like I didn't even want to compete after that. I was like, yo, what the fuck was that? Crazy.
Yeah, dude.
But I did lose a bunch. Like when I was in Edmonton, I got like 3rd place twice. Like I won and lost, but that's how you learn. The only way you can get better is to experience it, to win and learn and lose, or win and lose and learn.
Yeah. I always kind of try and remind myself that like it's win or learn.
Yes.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm super fucking fired up though. It's so sick out because like just looking out the window right now, it's so sunny out.
Yeah.
I'm fucking so stoked for the day.
Can't wait, bro.
Fuck, let's wrap this up a little bit here.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let you guys kind of finish it out and do a little outro. I'm gonna say I don't really have any shout outs or anything like that, but shout outs to everybody that listens to this, man. Shout outs to everybody that fucking supports. Shout out to everybody that supports just kind of feeling like you would just need to maybe have conversations that, you know, maybe you feel like other people don't really understand you or think the same way or view situations the same way or just kind of just be able to voice what's on your mind. You know, even if it isn't like a politically charged or a fucking controversial topic, like just being able to share what's on your mind. And, you know, I think like a good chat with a couple good buddies is a good place to start. So
Yes, sir.
it's, yeah, I'll let you guys do the little outro thing. If you guys want to give like a little, like, I don't know, like a positive message, share some positive vibes, a little motivation, some inspiration,
Yo.
spit some facts.
Your best version is still coming up. Don't give up. You're going to go through many ups and downs. You may be in your worst situation of your life so far, but it's not your last, and you're going to only have better experiences going forward. You have a lot to live for. Your family loves you. I love you. God bless.
I don't know how I'm gonna follow that up. I don't know how I'm gonna follow that up.
That's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, man. I just say, you know, stay positive, stay focused, man. You can, no matter how low you get, how bad things seem, you can always come back from it. I feel like, you know, I'm a living testament of that. And, yeah, so just never give up, man. Never give up, and, keep fighting. Shout out to, anybody who's listening. Yeah.
Yo, to add on to what he was saying about never giving up, I'm sure all three of us here can attest to the fact that our lowest points taught us some of the most valuable lessons. So you think you may be in like the lowest part of your life, like, fuck, man, is it even worth living anymore? But you get out on that other side and you realize the lessons that it taught you and the reason why that had to happen to put you where you are, that where you need to be today. So you can do this.
Gang.
Facts.
I love it. Yeah, so next time we sit down, I was just thinking about this as well, because we were chatting last night, and I think it'd be super dope if we talk more, is because I love the fucking bro talks like this. We need to talk next time more about like kind of our background, so people actually understand, and we'll cover a little bit more for mental health. So everyone that's listening to this, on Saturdays, we're going to try and do this, like roll and record a little bit more often, and we'll chat more about like more mental health stuff, but just to close it out, if it's morning time for you right now, go out and have the fucking best day you possibly can. If it's evening time, tomorrow when you wake up, make a motherfucker smile as fast as you can, even if it's just yourself. Go out and fucking kill it. Sorry, that was a little bit loud, but go fucking kill it. Have a good day, have a good week, have a good month, have a good fucking year. Much love and peace out, baby.